Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Huh? I hope everyone can hear me. Let's see here. Okay. Miss Dozier of Lupus in Color, she can hear me. Saw, my beloved woman, can hear me. Brother Tyler Wood, Bushcraft, man, how are you? And oh my goodness, my brother from another mother, Will Vargas, an old friend of mine back from the military. What's up, brother? Yeah, my car ran out of gas. You know I'm always late. Let's see who else do we have here. Okay, this is the first time I'm using this tool here, so I am trying to make this thing work here. Let's see. Uh, go second star. My other brother, what's up there? How you doing? Yeah, man, good to see you. Okay, so what I'm trying to do right now is let's give it another minute or so while I work through this technical situation. I'm trying to bring in our special guest. Uh, let's see here. Roger that, Tyler. Man, I can't wait for your live stream tonight at 8:30. Okay, so let me see here. Invite. You know, it's something. I'm actually getting a technical error as I am trying to invite our special guest to this. So hold on one second. Copy to clipboard. Stand by. Sorry, guys. Let me go ahead and see. Let's see if that works. Okay, Lupus and Color, did you receive the invite? Rolling Homestead and Wild Edibles. What's up? How you doing, man? Thanks for the subscription. Sorry, guys. All of the folks that are jumping on right now know much more than I do on this thing. So I don't know why I'm unable to get the mailbox up. Let's see. Send. Okay. We did test this out. with Second Star. Hey, Second Star, thank you so much for telling me about this tool called StreamYard. We all tested it out. I think it was last night, wasn't it? And so, all right, we got people coming in right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and move forward. And I hope if anyone knows um, how I can actually bring in the next video or a stream person that I'm inviting, my special guest, let me know, because she's not really receiving my invites, and I guess because everyone's using it. I guess I don't know, but hello, Be Ready here. This is Brian from Be Ready, and I really appreciate um, you joining into this YouTube channel. Let me see, and let's see. Everyone hit that button. Oh, thank you, Tyler. Thank you very much. And so I am really honored to have you guys log on to my channel. Um, in a nutshell, we're looking at how we can prepare for this, or just continue in this SHTF situation. More specifically, having chronic diseases and how we prepare. And so, let's see. Tyler would copy the web URL and post it in the chat. Okay, I will do that. Copy the URL and post it in the chat. I better not mess this up. Let's see. The URL and post it in the chat. The YouTube URL or the yard stream, the stream yard. I just went ahead and did that. Oh my goodness! I'm glad. Uh, I'm glad you guys are being patient with me. I really apologize, but okay, all righty then. Thank you so much, brother Tyler. Oh my goodness. So again, what we're doing is we're looking at how. Uh-oh, someone's giving feedback. Who's that? Let's see. Lupus in color. You have your phone on or no?
No. Hold on, let me get some headphones. Be
Okay.
right back.
Okay. So as we mentioned before, this is a discussion. It's a real deep discussion about how we get through this pandemic, and we are actually in. Out of everything that we have talked about, Tyler Wood, Bushcraft, second star. I talked to my brother from another mother, Will, about just different things. In the end, I think. Who else was there again? It was Wild Edibles, Rolling Homestead. I've been following your channel. Out of everything we've been preparing for related to SHTF, you know what? It's here. Something is happening. And so with that, one of the dear subjects that I have is being prepared, being ready today as it relates to your health. And there is a crisis now, and we have to deal with that. And so this channel, this particular live broadcast, I'm live from Central Virginia, is speaking to that. And we have a very, very special and dear guest to me. And this well, I was going to call her a young lady, but this person, stop it. This person is essentially the mother hen of our family. She is Lupus in color, Miss Dozier, and Lupus Warrior if you're nasty. But she is, a dear person of mine in that she is my sister. And I have known her for a number of years, and she has started a a company, I guess you can call it, a nonprofit called Lupus in Colors. He has had lupus now for maybe over a decade, and I have seen her help hundreds of people. And what I would like to do is just discuss with her what her feelings are about how we can get ready. There's a whole bunch of situations that we can discuss, but we're centered on chronic disease. One of my subscribers have shared with me that he has juvenile diabetes. I have a chronic illness. There are other people on this channel with chronic illness, and let's go ahead and talk a little bit about it. We can talk about the tents later on, but let's go ahead, or being in the yard later on, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So everyone, without further ado, here is Miss Dozier. Give a hand.
Hi, everybody. My name is Racquel Dozier. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right place. My glasses aren't good for up close.
Okay.
My name is Racquel Dozier, and like Brian said, he's my big brother.
Oh my goodness!
So he knows me from the cradle to the grave. So just to let you guys know a little bit about what Lupus in Color is. Lupus in Color is a group that I started when I was diagnosed with lupus, and it's a support group, and it was really put in place to help someone like me that felt lost when they were diagnosed with lupus. So I started it with about 3 or 4 people, and just started as a local lupus support group that has grown to a online social media group of maybe 50,000 people in different areas.
Yeah.
So 24,000 on Facebook, maybe 10 or 5,000 on Twitter, and things of that nature. So I really started it because I really needed some direction as to what to do with this lupus that I was just diagnosed with. So that's just a little bit of what Lupus in Color is about. What we do is that we educate, inspire, encourage, and empower lupus warriors all around the world. And those are our 4 thrusts that we use constantly. Everything is an education thing. Everything is an inspiration. Everything is encouragement and empowerment. So I'm glad that Brian asked me to talk about really dealing with COVA and really dealing with how to prepare with a chronic illness.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, a lot of us are in this situation. And it's a situation where we don't really know what to do. And one of the values that I've seen in the bushcraft community is we share, and that's an awesome thing. So I mean, the floor is open for any questions that you have on the chat, and I know Ms. Dozier will go ahead and answer any of the questions, but let's talk a little bit about overall health. I know that there's a lot of sicknesses out there and chronic illnesses, but how do we even start? I mean, my body's one thing, but how do we get this going here?
I think when you're diagnosed with any type of chronic illness, it really starts with you accepting it. There are stages of mourning when you're diagnosed with a chronic illness, and those stages you have to go through being angry, sad, and mad, and just depressed. You have to go through those stages to get to a point of accepting this is your new normal, and the new normal, you have to make some adjustments. So even with the coronavirus going around, you have to make the adjustments to include extra safety for yourself. So even though I haven't purchased anything super extra, I have just added on what I already have. So, in our house, we always take off our shoes when we come in the house, just simple things that you can do to prevent viruses from coming in your house and protect your own immune system.
Yeah.
I'm considered immunocompromised, which means that my
Mm,
immune system is shot. I can catch anything. It takes me 4 or 5 weeks to get over a cold.
yeah.
So to deal with that and imagine having to deal with something like COVID-19, you want to take extra precautions.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're washing your hands constantly. You
Mm,
want to make sure that when you are out, that you're not allowing people to come close to you because
yeah.
those droplets can get you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And
Even if
that's,
it's
and
just
that's a
a
really
regular
hard
cold.
thing to do. That's really
It
hard
is.
because I'm very personable, and you guys probably have seen that on my chats on your channels. But it's like I'm like that in public too, and so
Right.
it's probably really difficult. It's probably difficult for us to to switch our mindset to the new norm.
Well, you know what I call it? Since we're from New York, I call it getting into New York zone. Honestly, I had to
We
take.
haven't been in New York in so many decades.
So I told the vet I had to take the dog out to the vet, and she was like 20 feet away, and she was like, "I'm sorry if that offends you." I was like, "No, it doesn't offend me. I have a compromised immune system. I'm fine with that. Stay over there. Just tell me what's going on with my dog and let me go." So
Yeah,
it's some of it you just have to go with the flow, instead of really trying to push back. Some people try to be defiant in times like this, and they'll try
yeah,
and get closer to you, and they'll try and do things. But you put up your hand, and being that some people might know me from social media, they'll try and run up on me, and I have to say,
yeah,
"Oh, whoa,
yeah,
easy, easy." So there are different little precautions that you take when you have a chronic illness that really can really save you
yeah.
from getting anything extra besides COVID-19. The flu is
Absolutely.
bad.
And Rolling Homestead, thanks for the comment. You're absolutely right. I've been watching your channel, and the proper foods the proper foods are critical. Because I don't know if it's true that old adage of you are what you eat,
It's
but
true.
based on what I have been dealing with since I reached above 50, it is really true. And I saw that on your website, the Chaga, I'm looking forward to seeing more about what you present on that. Tyler, you're right. Preppers are great, or peppers rather are great. My wife, she's just getting into eating a little spice. Uh, I for one love spice. I love Indian food that's real spicy and curry like. And what I've been doing, and there are going to be a couple more videos coming out on this channel about how I'm growing my own food and things of that nature. But we'll see how we integrate that into what we're doing here.
Yeah, and it's
But
important. It is very important when you have a chronic illness to watch what you eat. Lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease that attacks your organs, your skin, and things of that nature, and which gives a lot of inflammation and things like that. So you really do have to monitor what you're eating, and that's part of taking care of your temple in order to
mm,
not get infected with any type of viruses. So it's
right,
very important about what you're eating and what you're allowing to come into your body. There are foods that cause inflammation, and what I usually tell lupus warriors is to keep a food diary of what foods can cause
mm,
inflammation. So what you're eating, you're ingesting, you're also writing down exactly, what did it do to me? So it made me cranky. It made my hands inflamed. So not to eat that again. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
I don't usually tell them to take out a lot of stuff out of them. I just tell them to monitor. You have to be mindful. It's important when you have a chronic illness, especially in times like this, to be really mindful of what you put in your body, your mind, and your
Yeah.
soul.
That might be a little difficult in these times where we have been preparing to hunker down, and
Right.
we're going and we're hoarding things, and what preppers don't call it hoarding. It's just being prepared, being ready today.
Well,
you
it's
know
for being
but
ready and
yeah,
being a hoarder.
yeah. But it's really important to do that, and that's one of the reasons why my significant other, my wifey Saw, is with me with dehydrating food, and my family, Miss Dozier and the rest of the family is getting into the prepper mindset, not necessarily for hoarding, but more specifically for being prepared, being ready today.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
it's more, it goes, I think, a little more than being, going out in the woods, and my family knows that, I'm former Air Force. I've spent, it's about 6.5, 7 years in Panama with my brother Will, a lot of those years. And, and so we know, what situations arise where we have to be able to, survive. But this is a new norm. It's just a
Right.
new normative. And welcome back, Second Star Survival. My brother was injured, making good content, and I don't want to tell all your business, but welcome back. I know you had to go to the restroom, but it's really important for us, How about I mean, for those of us who have a chronic illness, how about like medications or something like that?
Well, for me, I know that we have two people in my house that have chronic illness, myself and my son. So we make sure that we have all of the medication that we need. We do 3 months in advance. If you can't do 3 months, at least do 2 months. And if they do give you a hard time, I was talking to somebody earlier, I think from Texas or something like that, that was having a problem because one of the medicines that lupus warriors use was mentioned by the president, saying that it was going to start being used for COVID. So I
Oh
imagine
yeah,
that,
that's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I imagine that everybody has gone out. Now this is a medication, hydrochloroquine, is something I've been taking for years, but I had already refilled my prescription. I refilled my son's prescription. I made sure I had at least a month in advance for it. And when I ran into a problem of, it's too early to get your medicine, I just called my doctor and had him tell them, this is the situation. This is what you need to be doing.
Oh, so
So
your doctor could really help that with that. Hey, it's too early. No, it's not. Give you my medicine.
yeah, give her medicine. If she wants a 3 month supply, give it to her. She's paying you, and that medicine, Plaquenil, is better known as Plaquenil, is one of the first medicines that they ever used to treat lupus
Okay.
because there hadn't been a medicine for lupus in 50 years until a new medicine came out, 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay.
So this was one of the first medicines used to really help lupus patients just to have a quality of life. So what I would suggest, if you have any type of chronic illness, I don't care if it's asthma, diabetes, lupus, MS, whatever the situation is, make sure that you have your refills and make sure that you are talking and have a good relationship with your doctor and your pharmacist so that there aren't any extra problems.
Okay. Oh, that's some good info, and it's with preppers, I've shared on my channel that I have been prepping and camping out on my deck, and since October, my tent has been out there through storms and the like. But one of the things that we can do in this community is just make certain that we're gathering the required medicines that we need. And Rolling Homestead just made a really good comment. The right foods and wild edibles, things can be fixed, and I believe in that. 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, or 100 years ago, we didn't have these fancy medicines, and the like, and people were living. But now we have the balm in Gilead. We have a way to help ourselves, and so it's really important, I feel, for going ahead and preparing. One of the things that I'm looking at when my wife and I decide, so please decide when you want to go out with me, but when we finally go out to camp, we make certain that we have all of that stuff. And so, so we can be ready today. Second Star, you go to Mexico, it's something that you said that because my wife and I went on a cruise years ago. I mean, a lot of years ago. And one of the places we stopped was in Mexico. And right near the dock, there was a store that advertised, "Hey, we have this medicine and that medicine," and it was really amazing. I didn't buy any. I went in there, but there were certain diabetes medicines that were in there that I take that were typically at the time about $400. They're like $40, and you know they don't have I don't know if they have this now, but they don't have a quality control uh, process that helps them regulate how much medicine is actually in the medicine. But for people that it's a situation, that is a good opportunity. However, it's now with this hunker down stuff, it's really difficult to even think about when we'll be able to travel freely. And that's one of the situations that we're talking about now, with the chronic illness and having down. It's really amazing, and it's something, like Sawsaw indicated, it's really important to establish a relationship with your doctor. And it's really important. So, it's how about, because I know with us being preppers, I'm walking through the woods with baby girl and big guy, and we're getting all dirty. My wife doesn't come out there, but once every so often. And when we come in, it's like, okay, time to wipe off, time to, and my big guy and baby girl had this. My wife taught them this: wipe your feet, and they come over and they wipe off. So in terms of having a chronic illness and with this pandemic, is there anything we can do to maybe just be aware of, like coming into the house?
Yeah.
A bit,
I guess I know for us, I would say when you come in, take off your clothes, take off your shoes, head right on to your shower, wash off the day. It's like when we were kids, we had inside clothes and we had outside clothes.
I don't know if that's a thing nowadays.
I can't imagine that it is.
But I know it's a thing in bushcraft, because I do have my clothes that I use when I'm going out.
Of course, but if you take care of your puppies and you take care, like we have a dog and a cat, if the dog goes out and you take care of his paws when he goes out, it's only common sense to take care of yourself as well. So, we've always done this because we are very mindful of the chronic illnesses that are in the home. Yeah. So we do take off our clothes. When you come to our house, usually Brian, that there's a gang of shoes at the door, and we just try not to track outside, inside, and that has a twofold thing. Physically, I don't want to track anything nasty from the outside, and mentally and spiritually, I don't want to track anything from outside. Yeah. So as you watch what comes over your threshold, mentally, spiritually, you got to also do that physically. So removing your clothes at the door, putting them in the laundry as soon as you get it. Unfortunately, I do laundry almost every other day now. Wow. Before the COVID-19, I was, doing it maybe every week. But my husband still goes out to work. So he's still around people that could have left some droplets on his clothes or things like that. Wow. So we do make it a real thing to really take off our clothes, take a shower, get relaxed. You're home. Get relaxed, clean your body, wash, mentally do a shower meditation, wash your body physically, and just allow your mental state to come down to be ready to be home and be relaxed.
Yeah. I don't know if I missed any chats, but I see references to a basement. I don't know what that really means.
Okay.
And, Rolling said, "Look down in your basement." I don't know what.
I wish I had a basement.
But we used to have a basement, and it was a big boiler down there, and during the winter, I had to go down and put water in the boiler so it'd send the mist throughout the house. So I don't know what that's references.
Yeah, I see that Rolling Homestead said that by eating the proper foods, you can build your immune system. Absolutely, you sure can build it up. There are foods that build up your immune system, and then there are foods that will tear it up. And, we know
Figure it out.
the salt and the sugar and all that good stuff will definitely do that as well.
Absolutely.
I can't comment on the live comments, so I'll just keep reading while you talk.
Oh, no, it's all right. Hey, we actually have a couple of more visitors. I see my brother, Tyler. Is that you, Tyler?
How's it going?
And my new sub brother, Rolling. How are you?
We're doing great.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining on. And so we're talking about this. These two. Tyler has been really a person that has helped me out. And I can tell you about that brother real quick. He put a video out there, and I was just looking at stuff and still learning. And Tyler, can I talk about you for a second?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. He put this video out. He was like, "Hey, these are the books that you need in order to learn from." And the first thing was the SAS survival book. And I'm like, okay, well, check, I got that. And then he talked about one more book, and then he said, "There's another book that I want to tell you about." And he said, "It's the Bible." And he didn't see me react, but that was like, I like this guy. There it is. Rolling Homestead. That's the book right there. So guys, welcome. What are your feelings about just dealing with being prepared and being ready today, and actually getting ready with a chronic disease?
All right. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to teach you about StreamYard. So on the bottom of your screen, you're going to see 3 boxes down there so that you can make everybody the same size.
Oh, 3 boxes to make everyone the same.
Start clicking on boxes, and you're going to see that everybody will come out into their, instead of you being big, it'll make everybody equal. There you go. You got that one. Oh, no, the other one, back one. There you go. Okay. Now we're styling. All right.
Okay. These are the guys. Let's give them a hand when they
So, yeah, and then the other thing, too, is you're absolutely right. God's word is the most important thing to get you spiritually right. And you can ask Tyler where he's learned this from. He's come a long way through Christ. And
wow.
This is a book that'll teach you how to live your life.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Amen to that, brother.
And the other thing is that we have a very close friend that has lupus also, and we actually treated her through wild edibles and plants, and
wow.
growing the proper foods and getting the right nutrients to control what lupus does, because lupus is an autoimmune system issue. But by getting your heavy metals out of your body and getting you with the proper nutrition and vitamins and minerals, you can counteract that, and you can have a normal life. And absolutely, you can't totally get rid of lupus, but you can make it so that the person is comfortable and can run a normal life by just changing the way you eat.
Absolutely.
The problem with that is that our society nowadays, they want to pump everything up and grow everything really quick and really fast.
Yeah.
And you're not getting that nutrients that you need. So growing your own food, learning your wild edibles. Tyler was up by me. He saw a lot of stuff here in the last month when we did our Extreme Winter Challenge. And this is where you guys are going to flourish, is because the plants that the Lord have put on this earth are for us.
Yes, they are.
And the great thing about it is they change every year. So a disease cannot get used to them. So like chaga, big thing. Chaga is one thing right now. We actually helped. My mother has stage 4 lung cancer.
Oh, my.
And through her whole chemotherapy, she was taking my stuff that I make on the homestead, and the doctors were just amazed that she was able to go through this with no issues.
Wow. That's awesome.
By you learning your stuff and learning what to eat properly and what kind of vegetables are good for you and what vegetables to stay away from is the key to everything. Okay, like pumpkin. Everybody thought pumpkins were for Halloween and carving. They're one of the superfoods for cancer.
Wow.
Do that. Pineapple's another good one.
So how do you how can a person, and I can only speak for myself as to how I'm preparing with my family, how can a person start? And my ultimate goal, well, I say but I have to get with Sawsaw to find out if she's on this board with this, but is to have a homestead. How can someone in our situation, being hunkered down and being have chronic illness, how can they input that into life as we know it today?
Number one thing that you need to start to do is, like I said in the chat, stay away from big pharma. There's three things that you need to understand is the medical field. Doctors, there's some doctors like the people that are now going to more of the herbal medicines, are going away from the traditional medicines.
Yeah.
They are the kind of doctors you want to look for, because a doctor is getting paid to sell that medication to you. Now, if you look at that medication, you look at the side effects, you take this to fix this, but you need to take this one to fix this. And you need to take this one to fix that one.
It's a never-ending cycle.
And it's a cycle. I'm one of my doctor, he finally retired, and I could have kicked him in the butt for it because he was in the practice of saving people, not making, and curing the illness, not trying to just cover it up and put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
So then he just kept on telling me, he's like, Mark, you really start to understand the edibles, because that is the key to everything. Yeah. And when I started this process, I started to learn real fast how it makes a huge difference. Like we make our own apple cider vinegar. We make our own fermented cabbage. Cabbage is huge. So let's say you guys go to the store and you want to fix your guts and you buy probiotics.
Oh.
Well, fermented cabbage, you would need 10 bottles of probiotics to equal 1 pint of fermented cabbage.
Wow. That is awesome. Sawsaw is asking, what is chaga? I've seen your videos and I know, but if you can give the people that are on right now.
Chaga is, if you go back into history, chaga started in Siberia in China, and it's an herbal remedy that they started with, but they over-harvested. What chaga is a wild mushroom that grows on the birch tree. So they go inside, they comprehend to each other. So when the tree has a virus or an illness, the chaga starts to grow. It takes 15 years for chaga to become mature.
Wow.
So this whole time frame, the birch tree is feeding the chaga is taking care of the birch tree. It's a harmony kind of a thing. So what happens then is once this becomes big enough, you harvest the chaga. Now you got two different things. You have what would be the outside of the mushroom, and you have, or actually it's not a mushroom, it's a fungi. But you have the outside and you have the inside. So there's what is called a double extract. That's what we use to fight cancer, because I'm using the properties from the outside and the inside.
Wow. How does that? Yeah. Okay. So in terms of growing it, I have read in all of the books, and I've watched a few other channels. I'm staunch subscribers of not only you guys, but also Greg Ovens and Wooded Beardsman and Zach Fowler, Makery of Mischief, and everything. Actually, what's his name? Drop for Survival, who got sick one time on one of his videos. What's a good reference to be able to distinguish, that particular fungi and how that helps with chronic illness? While he's going back. Welcome back, Tyler, and by all means, if anyone has any questions, please throw it out there. This is a time where, we can, be a village and help each other.
I think it's important. Go ahead, Roland Homestead.
Well, yeah, he just left.
Okay.
But he's coming back. He's going to bring the book.
All right. So one of the things that you really have to look for in life is these. You can find anything online, but you're not going to find what you're looking for. It takes these really old books. Okay, so this is actually called the Country Doctor Handbook. And this has some of the best remedies that you can actually make at home. And it's very good to read. And what's really good about this is that if the internet crashes, no power, you can carry this along with you. So a book to me is more important than anything.
Yeah, I threw it in the chat so I can record it and make certain I have that information.
So when we started to do this is called herbal antibiotics.
Okay.
And this is where we got started with garlic, barberry. Barberry is the strongest antibiotic that is in plant-based. Garlic is a huge one. Ginger. There's so many other things that are out there, but this was a book that started it all, and this has everything that you need to make your own medicine at home.
Oh, awesome. And that's really good, but we're coming up on the end of this chat. Ms. Dozier said,
I didn't realize we were on here for 41 minutes.
I mean, we're having some good time. This is a really good.
Wow. I mean, it was good information. Very good information.
Yeah. And I know Homestead, one of the things that I've learned through all of the channels is, you have to, I guess it's having a mentor because, you can see something in a book and online, but until someone really shows you what it's all about, you have to really try that. And so I look forward to learning more from everyone on, within the community.
If there's one book that I would tell you guys to get, is this one right here. This is called Nutrition Almanac.
Okay.
This one here, you can grow in your garden. This is the one that is going to help the most because it tells you the nutrition and the value of the vegetable that you're growing.
Okay.
As far as
my son just gave that book to me.
Yeah, that book there. If you're a prepper or a homestead or anything like that, the key to everything is everything on your homestead has a purpose.
Yeah,
we teach to thrive, not just survive. And everything on our homestead has to have a purpose. If it doesn't have a dual purpose, I don't want it on my homestead.
Understood. And Second Star just mentioned elderberry. I think you had that on your channel as well, correct?
Yeah, you got to watch elderberries because they can do some harm also. They're not. One thing that I want to tell people is number one with wild edibles, plants and vegetables, some plants and some edibles, you can't put the two together. They will harm you.
Yeah.
You have to do your research. You have to see how your body reacts because my body is going to react differently to someone else's. So, and plus I've been doing it for a long time. Like most people, when they see me eat stinging nettle, the first thing on their faces are like, "What? You can't do that." and I'll pick it up and I'll fold it up and I'll eat it. And they're like, "Oh, how did you just do that?" And I said, "That's full of protein. I want that."
Yeah.
Well, I think that's an important point that you made, that everybody's body also will react to things differently.
Correct.
And you do have to be well educated before you start ingesting things and mixing things up and, getting yourself in some different trouble than you are with the health condition that you might have. So that's a definitely good point.
You got to remember, too, is that doctors haven't been around that long.
Right.
So how did our ancestors do things? And how did ancestors live 120? And we can find this in the Bible. The average age of a person is 125 years old.
Absolutely.
How did they do that? How did the pioneers do when they fought through some of the roughest things? And like right now, okay, guys, I'll give you a little trick here. For what's going on right now in our world today, everybody knows about COVID-19. So I'll give you guys a little trick to keep yourselves away from it and a way to keep it from coming into you. And that is called thieves' oil. And if you think
repeat it, say again.
It's called thieves' oil. If you go
thieves, like a thief,
like a thief. It was used back in the day for the bubonic plague when people were walking around stealing stuff off of the dead bodies, and the people are trying to figure out how these guys are doing it. They were actually using thieves' oil because that would actually protect them against the virus. So you see, if you remember the pictures of the long stork nose. They jam rags inside that snork nose, and they would put thieves' oil in there, and they were breathing through that.
That was killing the spores of the bubonic plague.
Exactly.
I actually use that in my meditation sometimes.
So God has put everything on this earth for us to use for a purpose. So if you go, and one of the biggest things I can tell anybody and everybody is my father and your father and everybody else's father that believes in the Creator has
Amen.
put things on earth to protect us and to help us. If you
right.
go through and you learn what He has built and what He has created, you will learn how to take care of yourself. And the biggest key to that is if you go out into the wilderness and you put your hand down in that dirt and you see that the trees are nice and green, they're watered, and they're well taken care of. And that dirt is so soft and so full of nutrients. That's because God has created it the right way.
Absolutely. Amen, brother. Amen. Okay, guys. Well, it's almost it's like 7:16, and I have to go ahead and eat dinner so I can prepare for Filer's Makery of Mischief live stream. And so anyway, hey guys, thank you very, very much for joining us, and thank you, Miss Dozier,
You're welcome.
aka Baby Girl #2. I guess no, I'm just my sister. Thank you very much for being our special guest, and we'll do another one of these next week. In addition, I have some videos that are coming out of my plight on my deck and my to your point, rolling. We've been dehydrating food instead of getting processed chips and everything, and so more to come on that. Okay, so anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining in. What is the old thing? Like the videos, subscribe to the channel. And I guess that's what.
Subscribe. There you go.
Okay, and I shall see you guys.
You guys all take care, and we don't forget. We'll see you tonight. We got a big one coming up.
God bless. Take care,
guys. God bless.
Bye, guys.